Good afternoon and good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel and Coffee Stream episode 510. I am back and it is Friday. I hope you're all having a good Friday and getting ready for the weekend. And we're today, as promised, on Wednesday. Gunfox is off for a few days, so I did say that I would do some news from the Discord that Gunfox left for us. So I've grabbed a good four or five stories that should get us through the hour. And if not, I can go get some more because there are a lot of them. And so that's the plan for today. And I hope, like I said, I hope everyone's doing well. I'm going to wait till more people come in because I have something to open and show you guys. But I'm going to wait a little bit for some more people to pop in so that we don't, so that people don't miss it. And so while we're waiting for more people to pop in, I'm going to open up Twitter and see, because Pincolo just sent me something. So we're going to see what Pincolo just sent. So let's see here. Let us see what Pincolo has sent us here to read. And as I said, there's, I've got, I believe, 4 stories from Gunfox that I grabbed. So we should be good for the stream today. All right, what is this that we've just been sent? Interesting. Okay. Let's take a look at this story. Let's go over here to back to the StreamYard window. All right. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Share. There we go. So, apparently, according to this Toronto Sun article, the U.S. Supreme Court has reinstated the Boston Marathon bombers' death sentence. And I honestly didn't know that it had been commuted, and I'm not entirely sure why it would have been commuted. What? What can't be real?
I'm sorry, honey. I didn't think you heard me.
You're sitting.
Quebec Diner drops Poutine from the menu.
Why? Because
the
of
word,
Putin.
Not the word, not the dish, to denounce Putin. Would you like that article?
Yes,
it's
please.
From CTV.
Okay, so Washington. U.S. Supreme Court on Friday reinstated convicted Boston Marathon bomber, some dude that I'm not going to name, in the 2013 attack that killed, was it 13 people? His role in the 2013 attack that killed 3 people and wounded more than 260 others, ruling in favor of the federal government. So was he appealing this? The Supreme Court... stupid ads. Go away. Nobody likes you. In a 6-3 decision, the justices decided with the Justice Department challenge to the 2020 federal court ruling that upheld the conviction but overturned his death sentence. Why on earth would a federal court overturn that asshole's death sentence? Anyway, the Supreme Court faulted the Boston-based oops. The Supreme Court faulted the Boston-based First U.S. Court of Appeals, First U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, on its findings, both that Sonny's right to a fair trial and that his Constitution's Sixth Amendment right was violated. What? Seriously? Fuck off. And that the trial judge wrongly excluded certain evidence about a separate crime. Sokrat Sonyev committed heinous crimes. The Sixth Amendment nonetheless guaranteed him a fair trial before an impartial jury. He received one, conservative Justice Clarence Thomas wrote for the court. The court's 6 conservative justices were in the majority, with its 3 liberals dissenting. Of course. President Joe Biden, as a candidate, promised to work to pass legislation in Congress to eliminate the death penalty at the federal level and set a sentence for states to do it as well, and instead impose life sentences without possibility of parole. Okay, so put more strain on the prison system, or set incentives for states to do it as well. But his administration last year opted to proceed with the procedure last year to move ahead with the hearing begun under Trump to uphold this. In a dissenting opinion, liberal Justice Stephen Breyer agreed with First Circuit that evidence about the separate crime, a 2011 triple murder, good lord, in Massachusetts, a 2011 triple murder in Waltham, Massachusetts, linked to Sonny's older brother Tamerlan, was improperly excluded. Lawyers from Sarneef, who is 28 now and was 19 at the time of the attack, have argued that Sarneef played a secondary role in the marathon bombing to his brother, who they claim had an authoritarian hold on him and extreme Islamic beliefs. Okay, but he was still 19. That's an adult. Sorry, you're still an adult. This evidence may have led some jurors to conclude that Tamerlan's influence was so pervasive that Sarneef did not deserve to die for any of the actions he took in connection with the bombings, even those taken outside Tamerlan's influence. No, they both are horrible people, and he needs to be put to death. And and I love how they're framing this as political, like conservative versus liberal. It's like, but that's what it is, unfortunately. And it sucks that that's what it's come to. The conservative versus the liberal in all things. So let's read this ridiculous story from the CTV News. And if you are in chat, please share the stream to wherever you do your social media, whether it be Twitter or Discord or both. Okay, here we go. All right. So, this story, as I said, is from CTV News. And apparently, a Quebec diner is so sensitive to anti-Russian feeling that they've done something ridiculous. Quebec diner drops Poutine from the menu. The word, not the dish, to denounce Putin. So even though it's pronounced differently, right? Even in English, right? If you're saying Putin, right, instead of Putin, right? If you're saying Poutine, like, because some people would pronounce it in English as Poutine, right? That's still not the same pronunciation as Putin. Vladimir Putin. That's not the same pronunciation as Poutine or Putin. You guys are ridiculous. Anyways, let's read. So, what? Okay, here we go. All right. Oh, is it a video or is it a article here? Oh no, it's an article. Okay. So, this starts by saying in 2003 there were freedom fries. In 2022, in wake of Russian invasion in 2022, in the wake of Russia's invasion of the Ukraine, at least one Quebec restaurant has come up with a way of denouncing Vladimir Putin, although cutting a word out of a local lexicon is harder than it seems. The diner, La Rue du Cep, in the small city of Drummondville. I know where Drummondville is. Le Roi Giuseppe. In the small city of Drummondville, and announced on Facebook on Friday it was calling itself the inventor of, what are they calling it? The fries jus gravy. Le frites jus gravy.
He's calling himself the inventor of fries, cheese, and gravy.
Fries, cheese, cheesy fries.
Yeah, no, he's calling it specifically fries, cheese, and gravy is what was said in the other. Yeah, he's an idiot.
The dish is, of course, poutine, Quebec's most famous comfort food. And La Roi Giuseppe claims to have invented it in the 1850s. The spot is even famous enough that Prime Minister Justin Trudeau once stopped off there at the famous during and filmed a video there, paying homage to Putin. Oh, on National Poutine Day. Okay. But that word.
Yeah,
that word. CTV, stop it.
Are we also not allowed to call hookers that anymore either?
Stop it. What? Oh, what? Putain?
Yeah, we're not allowed to call.
Yeah, you can't say putain. You can't ask for putain anymore. If you're walking down Saint Catherine, you can't look for a putain. That's what the fuck. This is stupid. Hello, Costin. Cheesy gravy fries, yes. So apparently they're claiming that they invented Poutine in the 1850s and that they now have license to change the name. Anyway, but that word also happens to be the French translation for Putin's name. Okay. Invariably in France, Quebec, and other French-speaking places, the Russian president's name is written as Vladimir Putin. Okay? So is this one of those things where like the judge in Dankula's case said context doesn't matter? Is that the motto of the new millennium, the millennium of the 2000s, is that context doesn't matter? It doesn't matter that the word is on a menu for food. Therefore, it's obvious that it's not got nothing to do with the fucking president of Russia, unless you're deciding to serve long pig and you've suddenly figured out how to assassinate him and serve him on your menu. I'm not entirely sure what your problem is. This is dumb. This is really stupid. Dear clients, the restaurant wrote in an online post on Friday. Tonight, the Giuseppe team decided to retire the word, and then they start out everything but the P in Poutine because they can't even tell people what they're retiring without censoring the word. For the meantime, to express, so they're withdrawing the word for the meantime, in order to express in its own way its profound dismay over the situation in Ukraine. Yeah, because the restaurant is so famous that the Russian president will notice that you've removed the word Putin in the context of food from your menu. That will show him. It later took down the post, telling media it had received hateful phone calls and was nervous, but its Facebook page still describes it as the inventor of the fries cheese gravy. On Saturday, the restaurant staff wrote an update saying they've learned of a message of thanks given by Ukrainians, by a Ukrainian speaking on Radio Canada television. Who had learned of the gesture. So a Canadian Ukrainian is thanking the restaurant, who is also Canadian, for doing this. And this will affect things as much as freedom fries. Yep. Very touching to learn that our tiny message of support has been sent from Drummondville all the way to the Ukraine. The restaurant wrote, "If we can make someone smile there, that's already a win. We are with you from the bottom of our hearts." The restaurant's owner couldn't be reached for comment about how long they plan to withhold saying the name of its signature dish or what kind of threats they've gotten in response. There's no need to threaten anybody. They're just being stupid. That's all. But you don't need to threaten anyone because they're being stupid. That's not necessary. That's absolutely not necessary. I don't believe anyway. You can laugh at them, but they're threatening them. That's not necessary. Okay, let's take a look at the stories I've grabbed from Gunfox. And there we go. All right, let's see here. What do I have? So we have, let's start with this one. All right, let's go share the screen. Perfect. Okay. Share screen. Chrome tab. All right. This is what happens when you give those. Oh my. Actually, thank you, Costin. I'm actually gonna go back and get it darkened up a little bit. It's a little bit too light. And it's like it needs to be redone because it's really washing out pretty badly for how quickly I got it. I got it done yesterday. But I'm glad you like it. And I'm gonna get it darkened to like a cherry red, like a black cherry type of color. Because that will work better, I think, with um my skin tone and some of the new outfits that I've gotten. Oh shit, I've already shared the screen. Idiot me. Okay, so before we or after this story, I'm going to show you guys what came in the post office box today. Refugee camp tops 1 million. Russians besiege Ukraine ports. Wonderful. So this is okay. So Russian President Vladimir Putin's forces claim to have taken complete control of Kherson, which would make it the biggest city yet to fall in the invasion. That's not good. A senior U.S. defense official disputed that. Our view is that Kherson is very much a contested city, the official said, speaking on condition of anonymity. Valenska's office told the AP that it could not comment on the situation on Kherson while the fighting was still going on. The mayor of Kherson, Igor Kolokiev, said Russian soldiers were in the city and came for the administration building. Or came to the city administration building. He said he asked them not to shoot civilians and to allow crews to gather up the bodies from the streets. That seems reasonable. We don't have any Ukrainian forces in the city, only civilians and people here who want to live, he said in a statement later posted on Facebook. The mayor said Kherson would maintain a the mayor said Kherson would maintain a strict 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew. That makes sense. And restrict traffic in the vicinity to food and medicine deliveries. The city will also require pedestrians to walk in groups no larger than 2, obey commands to stop, and not provoke the troops. See, guys, especially people that live in Ottawa and lived through the convoy there, this is what a state of emergency looks like. Okay? Just saying. This is what it looks like. This is what an actual state of emergency is. The flag flying over us is Ukrainian, he wrote. And for it to stay that way, his demands must be observed. So that's the story for the story. So it's she says we cannot even take the wounded from the streets, from houses, from the apartments today, since the shelling does not stop. He was quoted by the Interfax news agency. That is not one I've heard of before. Russia reported its military casualties for the first time since the invasion began last week, saying nearly 500 of its troops have been killed and 1,600 wounded. Ukraine did not release its numbers. Okay. So things are getting pretty worrisome. I will say that. And as somebody whose country shares a vast border with Russia, it's very disturbing. Yeah, it's a very disturbing time. So it's yeah. All right, let's open this. So we got some merch today, a merch sample in. And so Piccolo said that he is going to have to fix the shirts that are available on blindpress.net. He says the logo isn't quite right. But the mouse pad, on the other hand, did turn out. So this is the mouse pad. And you can get this on blindpress.net. I think they are $10. And it's a nice, thick mouse pad. I actually kind of like it. Yeah. Let's get rid of this paper booklet that my mouse was on and put the actual mouse pad here. Nice. Oh, shit. Not so nice. Okay, the mouse pad is a little big. I have to watch out for the camera. Okay, let's move that over here. So we can move the mouse pad over here. Put the watch charger there. Put the camera here. Perfect. Ta-da! Slightly smiling face. 12:28 p.m. Double custom emojis. 12:28 p.m. 12 custom emojis. 12:18 p.m. 12:28 p.m. Okay, let's see here. Chat message input. Chat publicly. 12:28 p.m. Custom emoji. 12:31 p.m. Custom emoji. So that's actually pretty nice, and it stays right because it's got a rubber bottom. All right. So that's the mouse pad. I actually like that. You can get those on blindpress.net. Yeah. He's Pancalo says he might change it to a black background. And like I said, so that's the mouse pad. Like I said, blindpress.net. You can find those there, and pretty good price. All right, next story. All right. Let's see. Buffering. All right, there we go. It stopped buffering. Okay. Here we go. All righty. So, this is another Gunfox story. It's from the Daily Mail. So hopefully it will behave. Let's see here. So this says Russia apparently, according to this Daily Mail article, it has started using banned weapons, in particular cluster bombs, and this is not a good thing. Hello, Mr. Goatman. So let's see. Oh, I'll show Goatman. Goatman. Mousepad. This is the new mousepad. There you go. You can find those on blindpress.net. It's from February. Oh, fuck. Wait. You know February 28th was on Monday, right? February 28th was the beginning of this week. What are you talking about? 2 weeks old. Russia appears to have used banned cluster munitions to indiscriminately shell civilian areas in the Ukraine's east that had stood up to Vladimir Putin's invasion in what would constitute a war crime. Yeah, he's doing a lot of things that, as somebody who did pay attention a little bit in history class, I'm sitting there going, didn't we do this already like 80 years ago? Like, he's got tanks near Poland already. It's like, what the fuck? Kharkiv, which has witnessed some of the heaviest fighting of the war so far, was hit by rockets. It was hit by rockets fired from Russian positions on Monday, with video showing a shopping center. Because, that's a necessary bombing target. showed a shopping center uh, in a Serbia area blanketed by explosions. A source told Mail Online that the video showed that cluster munitions had been used. The BM-21 Grad is a multiple launch rocket system used for aerial sorry, used for aerial or area denial, dropping cluster bombs on a concentrated area. Interesting, the expert said. It's mainly used on enemy troops before an offensive. Used on civilians, it's not only a war crime, but it has only one purpose: to spread terror and alarm among the civilian population. Let's see here. Welcome to wartime. Yep. Uh, let's see here. Do. Cluster munitions were also to destroy a school. Jesus Christ. Activist group Amnesty said, in which 3 people, including a child, were killed. The attack seemed to be carried out by Russian forces, which appeared to be nearby. This is something they've done before. Good Christ. Why are we why are we doing this, Vlad? Why are we doing this? This is not, I don't get it. I don't get it. There is no possible justification for dropping cluster munitions in popular areas, let alone near schools, Secretary Agnes Calmer added. The blast marked some of the serious attacks on civilians since the war began 5 days ago, and came despite Ukrainian and Russian delegations sitting down in Belarus for peace talks. Yeah, that's peace talks. Unfortunately, I may be seeming like doom and gloom here, but I do have a feeling that this is eventually going to end up being a third world conflict. I have a feeling that Russia is going to try to punish Western countries for aiding the Ukraine, and that's when we're going to get involved. And it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. Wait, what did YouTube censor? Yeah, Russia has a history of committing war crime after war crime, whether it be mass murder of civilians to worse. Yeah. So it's a very worrisome time to be alive and covering news things. It's a very worrisome time. Especially, as I said, living in a country whose northern border is just Stupidly amount like just marches completely with Russia. It's yeah, it's it's worrisome. Okay, Chrome, why are you not responding? Why are you being a dick? Chrome. Okay, BBC, you don't usually. Okay, there we go. Okay, why is Chrome not liking the BBC right now? That's very weird. I don't usually have issues with the BBC. How very strange. How odd. Well, I'm going to go back and check out because I know that there are some other articles. Because the other articles that I had grabbed are also from the BBC and they are not working. So I know that there were other articles that Pink Hollow had sent. So I'm gonna quickly check those out. All right. Here's another. Ooh, it's an Ask Amy. Those always piss me off. Let's 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 do this. Let's do this. Okay. Okay. Let's see. What is Amy being asked this time? All right. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. I accidentally hit the cancel button instead of the share button. That's not helpful at all, Blind Press. Let's try that again. That's better. Okay. Oh, you've been getting 404 errors? Okay. So it's not just me. In the last week, many schools, hospitals, and residential buildings have crumbled. Ugh. That's sad. That's depressing. Okay. So, this is an Ask Amy, as I said, from the Toronto Sun. Ask Amy. Humming habit is not beautiful music. Oh, uh-oh. So, this says, Dear Amy, I have a terrible habit and it's getting worse. I hum. Okay. Let's see. Where am I? It's usually the same three notes over and over again. I try to silence myself, but I still hear the notes in my brain. It seems to be most prevalent when I'm doing some mundane task like brushing my teeth or housework, but it's getting so I can't even walk my dog or work at my computer without incessant humming. It stops if I'm listening to music, watching TV, or driving, um, or reading, or when I'm around other people. I recently other went through a divorce where my husband of 25 years left me for a much younger woman, and I'm living on my own for the first time in quite a while. The breakup was a traumatic process, And the humming definitely started to be more persistent over the last couple of years. Other than that, I'm a healthy, well-adjusted 62-year-old woman. I have a good job, close friends and family, and a new man in my life, and lots of fulfilling work and hobbies. The humming is exhausting. Do you have any help or advice for me? Constant hummer. It sounds like she's got anxiety or something, like some sort of anxiety that she can't like quite put her finger on. Or like maybe a mild obsessive compulsive thing. You know what I mean? Or maybe that's interesting. Or maybe even like a mild tick. Hey, selected boy. Okay. Dear Constant Hummer, researching your question, I came across an extensive forum on a British health site. Um, patient.info, where dozens of people were experiencing dozens bleh, where dozens of people were reporting this condition, which could be triggered by stress. Um, the recent events of your life certainly qualify as very stressful. Yeah. Somebody leaves you, it's pretty stressful at any time, but if somebody leaves you after 25 years, that's a huge blow to not only your confidence, but your um your everything. Stand, stand in the place where you work. Anyway, what does this now say? You should see. Wait. You should see your general practitioner, report the symptom, and ask for a referral to a neuropsychiatrist because this seems to be a neurological issue. There are neuropsychiatrists. Interesting. Hmm. A neuropsychiatrist, you say? Review any medications you are currently taking, which might be contributing to this problem. Another good piece of advice. You also might You also might have success switching off the humming by practicing meditation. Meditation can help you um meditation can help to reset some behaviors when you learn to breathe your way out. It's worth a try. All right. Where are we here? Is that the only one or is Oh, here we go. Dear Amy, I am facing a dilemma with my roommate. Oh boy. This ought to be good. Ahem. Let's see here. Facing a dilemma with your roommate, are you? All right. I am a singer in college, a senior in college, and a member of a sports team. So are both of my roommates. Okay. So you guys are sports people. All right. Throughout college, we have built these amazing friendships. We all connect on many levels, continuously have fun as a group, and get along in a way that seems super rare. Throughout the years, 6 of us teammates have become very close. But one of my roommates, Jay, I would describe as less close than the others. I now live with Jay, as well as one of my best friends, Z. Honestly, Jay's a great roommate, but is definitely not as close as the rest of us are. Jay makes constant efforts to tag along with us, and her feelings are constantly, and her feelings obviously hurt when the six of us besties do things without her. Yeah, but she also needs to make her own friends. We feel bad leaving her out, but also really enjoy doing things as a friend group. Jay is a genuine and extremely kind person, but she just doesn't fit in socially with the rest of us. That's fine. Like, this is like, people need to learn that it's okay to, be a, not very close friend, but still a friend with somebody, and still support them finding another group of friends. That's not that you can do both. Now that we are finished with our sport, it feels like we should have the sorry, now that we are finished with our sport, it feels like we should have the freedom to enjoy our last semester in college. But I also feel like a mean girl leaving her out. Is there a balance between having fun as a friend group and being inclusive? Wondering senior. Here, wondering. Yes, there is a balance between having fun and being inclusive, and the balance comes from choosing to be inclusive. Wait, what? No. The balance comes from having a balance. And like there were times when my best friend, like bestie, best friend, wanted to go play with other friends because there were just some things that I couldn't do or couldn't do the same as sighted people or sighted kids. So like if she wanted to go play a game of soccer and whatever, um, you know, that's what she did. And like I had to learn that, yeah, it sucked that I couldn't participate, but I couldn't get mad at her. It wasn't her fault that I couldn't participate, and she had a right to go and do things with other people. And like she always came back. So there was no like I needed to learn that I couldn't just depend that she would always be there. And it's you shouldn't feel bad for doing that, for needing time with your friends group. And choosing to be inclusive shouldn't be the thing that helps you be balanced. Deliberately excluding someone who is not only a team member but is not only or sorry, deliberately excluding someone who is not only a team member but is also your roommate. Yep, that's pretty mean. Okay, but they don't no, they don't always have to play together. Like, what the fuck? If she doesn't fit in with the friend group, then they don't always have to be hanging out with her. And I don't understand how, trying to figure out a compromise is mean. That's all she's trying to do here. That's what it feels like to me. She's trying to figure out a compromise so that she can have, a good time with her group of friends and then figure out a compromise that she can do with her friends and with this J person. And apparently, according to Amy, that's mean. Ugh. 12:56 p.m. WR Costin. I'm enjoying the awesome stream at Selective Roy. 12:54 p.m. I'm not entirely sure how trying to be an adult and make time for everybody is mean, but that's okay. Yes, it's super fun and easy to hang over only with your besties. But the world is full of diversity and interest, and college is the perfect environment to spend time with people who don't fit into your particular social mode or mold. Right, but if it doesn't work and they've tried, it doesn't work. Like, this is the problem with forced diversity. And by the way, the person who's being hung out with just for diversity's sake, they know, right? They know, they don't have to be told. Like, when I was blind, or when I was a kid as a blind student, um, I knew good and well when I was being excluded because of my blindness without being told. Like, I knew. And I also knew when I was being included so that people felt good about themselves and not because they genuinely wanted me to be there. Like, you can tell when that's happening, and it's not a nice feeling. It's so include her, you're a bitch. Yeah. And, and quite frankly, the feeling that you get when you are included for pity's sake, or for diversity's sake, it's not a nice feeling. I would almost rather not be included at all, or be included because people want me there. Extending social hospitality to someone who is genuine and extremely kind is good for your heart, good for your head, and good for your reputation. What will make this worth it? When Jay thanks you at your 10th college reunion for being someone who was inclusive and kind. Okay. Anyway, let's see what the next person says. Dear Amy, I disagree with your response to sympathy deserved. Who didn't feel sympathy for an anti vaxxer who had died of COVID? Being vaccinated is a responsibility to yourself, friends, family, and to the world. I have no sympathy for anyone who refuses the vaccination and as a result dies of the virus or any other disease. Okay, so you must have no sympathy for uh, alcoholics, drug addicts, cigarette smokers, um, gamblers that can't control themselves. Uh, you must live a straight edge lifestyle, because you ugh. Dear, do your part. Dear, do your part. Many readers took issue with my stance, and any death should be met with sympathy for the survivors. I see this lack of compassion as yet another unfortunate COVID side effect. Yep, and it's been brought on by fear mongering and lies. That's what it's been brought on by, fear mongering and lies. And it's disgusting. I promise not to include or exclude you on the basis of your being blind press. Oh, why, thank you, Costume. Thank you. The words diversity and inclusion have been ruined for me, says Mr. Goatman. I agree. I really, really agree. Like, I'll I'll tell you guys a story before we end the stream. I was supposed to be taking part in grade 9 in a variety show at school. And I signed up I auditioned for a part in the drama section. And and I got the role. And the play was supposed to be about like a cruise ship type of deal. And the scenes were supposed to be throughout the variety show interspliced between like music and dances and stuff. Now, after casting or giving me the roles, they wrote a part for me specifically for me, they wrote a part for me as a blind. They wrote the character as a blind person, so no acting there for me. Then they made the blind person like Three Stooges level of um buffoonery, and it was supposed to be a comedy play, but the fact that they had a blind person playing a blind character that was written to literally walk into every object that was on the stage, walk into people. There was one scene where I was supposed to trip over thin air and fall over, and they couldn't understand why I was really, really offended. And they couldn't understand why I said, I'm not doing this part. This is, first of all, you have me being a blind character. That's not acting. And they were like, well, we're just trying to include you. Like when I was telling them all the things that were wrong, and they're like, oh, well, it's supposed to be comedy. It's supposed to be slapstick. And I'm like, you can do slapstick without like falling for every stereotype. Like I'm like, this is Three Stooges, but it's not even like good Three Stooges, right? It's not funny, and I will not be doing it. And I walked out, and I didn't take part that year, and I didn't take part in the next year either. And then in grade 11, I auditioned for the musical part, the singing part, and I sang Aerials by System of a Down and ended up getting standing ovation. So, yeah, it was interesting. That's a big oof. Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. And then the year after I sang Aerials, the System of a Down Aerials, I auditioned as a director and directed the whole music portion of the show, and I also did Evanescence's "Bring Me to Life" in that show. But I was just really that I was very pissed off, and that just goes to show you that you can tell when you are being given the pity, diversity, inclusion, you know, higher or part in something, and it sucks. It's a shitty feeling, and I don't think the people that recommend this line of thought and treatment, I don't think they understand how shitty it feels when you are given that you know hand me that handout, diversity, inclusion. It's not a nice feeling. All right, guys, that brings us to the end of our show. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves, and that you have a great weekend. There was no Beat the Blind Girl last night, but there will be one tonight at 11, and I will be playing Mortal Kombat 11 as usual. And of course, join us for the Star Trek stream tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, and the Blind and the Special back on Twitch on Sunday night. So have a great night, guys. Have a great weekend, and I will see you later on Twitch. Bye, everyone.